Check that out. That is sick. Custom, baby.
Check out that catfish. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Hey, what's up guys? James Smiley here with the Tiny Boat Nation. We're here at Jones Trolling Motor Electronics in Texarkana, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kentucky. I really don't know which one, but this is like the place to be. All the best trolling motor electronics, Garmin stuff is happening here. Tons and tons of elite pros and major league fishing pros come through here to get their stuff done. And what a better place to become a tiny boat dealer than this place right here. They got bays opened up. They opened up this bay for us today to work on my Pelican. Guys, what's crazy about this is a $200 boat, okay? This is not a $20,000 boat. It's not a $2,000 boat. It's not a $50,000 boat. It's a $200 boat. You can find this on CRAIGSLIST, Marketplace, anywhere like that. And you know, rig them out the way that you want them. Some people might ask, well, why would you want to put, you know, $500 on a $200 boat or $5,000 on a $200 boat, whatever you want to do. And the thing is, every single person fishes in a different part of the country. You fish a different way. You like different things, and based on what you like and what you do, you can rig out your boat the way you want it. That's made for you, for your family, for the lakes, rivers, ponds, the shallow, deep, open water, up north, wherever. And that is the power of the Tiny Boat Nation.
I need to get one of these for the drum boat. That thing would be a beast on the drum boat. But as you just heard, we are about to throw a bunch of money onto a $200 plastic boat from Craigslist. So I guess we better start unboxing everything.
What we got first?
We got some rod buckles. Scupper plug, I guess. More rod buckles. How many rods you putting on this thing? Ah, there's the rod holders. Trolling motor foot switch. More scuppers. Oh dang.
All the custom switch panel.
Check that out. That is sick.
No way. Dude,
custom, baby.
So
No way.
Dude, that is beautiful.
That is sweet.
that is awesome.
Holy crap. That dude is the man. Dallas, Florida panels. Thank you, man. That is
Dude,
so cool.
I want the one for my boat.
That is so legit. Thank you.
That is sick. So we got some scupper plugs here, control switch. We we got some rod holders and some rod buckles. And then this shop is going to be adding a whole bunch more to it, the boat as well. We got some foam. Should we bust out the foam? Oh yeah, that looks sick.
I was gonna see if there's a way to rig these like flush like this.
Okay.
But I think this will be a cool thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Now.
I feel like it should be like right here.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
I wouldn't put it here, but these will just go right here.
So we got a game plan and figured out where everything was going. So we started ripping off all the old wiring, removed the old battery tray, and took off all the old rod straps that was hanging on by the last strand. We are replacing pretty much everything on this boat, so it all needs to come off.
Like, when I saw what you guys were doing, I was like, dude, I do not want anyone to see my
We're also replacing anything that was broke, and luckily the only thing that broke was this one handle. Not bad for a $200 boat. We got two rod holders we're going to install next. These rod holders are super easy to install. Just drill a hole in the plastic, Clear out any foam that's blocking the tube from going in, and then pre-drill some holes and rivet it into place. Ryan tackled one side of the boat while I tackled the other. If I knew we were working on a boat on this trip, I definitely would have brought my automatic rivet gun for us to use. Ryan said his first build was done completely with a manual rivet gun, and he gets PTSD anytime he sees one now. But we got the rod holders done, and now moving on to the rod buckles. So this boat came with these little straps for rod holders. It went something like this and connected over here, but James had the idea to throw in these boat buckles. So Ryan is starting to work on installing that. This is also a really easy mod. Just got to trace out the back of it onto the boat and then cut out the plastic and remove enough foam to put it in. These boats are completely full of foam, which makes the wiring pretty hard, but you will see more of that later on in the video. But just remove the foam, pre-drill the holes, and then rivet it on. Then you got to rivet on the latch, and then it's done. Pretty genius mod, and again, it's pretty easy to do. We are adding 2 straps to each side of the boat, so 4 total. While me and Ryan worked on that, Ashley and James worked on adding a scupper plug and taking apart the trolling motor and the old transducer. We finished up the buckles and Ashley started working on installing the switch panel. He's using a level to make sure it's straight. And putting it backwards like this allows him to get it square and get all the holes pre-drilled and in place before cutting out the plastic. Like I mentioned earlier, this boat is full of foam and it makes running all the wires super hard. We're trying to find these wires. They run all the way back here and come out of this hole, but we can't get to them.
Oh, that's why.
And here is the electronics we're throwing on the boat. We got the Panoptix LiveScope system here and the GPS map 1022. We're kind of going all out, putting a 10-inch screen with LiveScope on this little boat. But before we install that, we're going to install some orthodeck. We came up with the idea to add foam to all the ribs in the floor of the boat. We measured how wide it needed to be and cut it down. And we found this square that is the same width as the ribs, so we're using it to measure our strips of foam. So we're making sure the foam is all square. You can never trust that it's square straight from the factory. Another tip is to buy a crap ton of blades. I don't know why, but cutting this foam destroys blades so fast. We didn't come prepared and only had 2 blades, and it made this foam job so much harder. While we were working on the foam, Ashley was working on getting the switch panel all wired up. So we were short on time with getting this boat together, but if we had the time, I would have made a template of the rib and cut them all out with scissors and then put them on. You can get a lot straighter and cleaner cuts using scissors, but again, we didn't have the time to do that on this build. Ashley installed the light and then screwed in the switch panel. The next step is figuring out where to mount the graph and the black box. Luckily the shop had this mount laying around and it worked out perfectly for this little boat, and we used a battery tray to install the black box. But before you can have electronics, you have to have batteries, so let's get those installed. We're throwing 2 batteries on the back of this boat. We made sure they weren't in the way of the seats and got them installed. Wiring a boat takes the longest to do on any boat build, so I'm not going to go into full detail on how we did it. So here is a time lapse of the wiring and install of the batteries and the trolling motor. The wiring on this build was pretty basic. I was surprised. I figured hooking up LiveScope would be harder, but it was the exact same as any other fish finder install. While installing batteries, Ryan worked on cutting out the last 2 pieces of foam. Since this boat needs to be portable, the only different thing we did was use quick disconnects on the battery terminals.
Alright, we're done back here.
But the batteries are now installed and now we have power. We ran the fish finder wires and pre-drilled all the holes for the base of the graph mount, and then got the trolling motor quick disconnect installed. So now the boat is all wired and it's time to open the fish finder box, the moment we all been waiting for.
That's the box. Okay, put these on your graph, get everything out of the box you need. Immediately put this cover on until this graph's installed. If you break that glass, it's your baby. Garmin will not fix it and will not honor it.
Oh,
you have
man.
no warranty on broken glass. So now, if that gets kicked around in the shop or it gets messed up, it's good.
So this is the black box, the brains of this whole operation. To dumb it down, it pretty much just tells the graph how to display the LiveScope screen. I never installed one of these. I don't know how it works, but it works. We screwed down a modified battery tray and then connected the graph wires. We're kind of all over the place here working on everything at once, but it was just easier this way. But now we're working on installing the graph mount. We wanted to make sure this plastic was strong enough to hold the weight of the graph, so we added strips of aluminum to the plastic behind the mount, and then used these sheetrock anchors to make sure it was all locked into place, and then added screws on top of that. We got the base installed and now drilling holes into the tray so water can escape the box. We put the trolling motor back on and attached the Panoptix transducer. Guys, this part is very important. This is a $900 cable. Do not install your transducer wires with zip ties. I know it's all over YouTube of people installing it with zip ties. I've even done it on my last build, but Ashley and Michael are pros at this and they deal with warranty stuff all the time, and said if you break your wires and try to get it replaced under warranty, if Garmin sees any zip tie marks on your wire, they will not replace it under warranty and you will have to pay $900 again. This info was shocking to me and Ryan because we've been using zip ties on our builds. Everyone does, but from here on out, don't do it. Use electrical tape. It's not as strong and you'll have to replace it every 6 months, but it's better than spending $900. So again, no zip ties on transducer cables. We installed the trolling motor foot switch, finished up the last bit of wiring, and then attached the graph. Got it all set up and that's it. The boat is done. We vacuumed it all out and wiped it down and got her looking somewhat brand new. Well guys, here it is. James Smiley's new CRAIGSLIST tiny boat that is decked out with LiveScope. Not bad at all for $200 and a few hours of our time.
It fits. Just enough. Adam, we put it under his seat so when he's fishing it won't be in the way.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But then when he's traveling, it'll keep it snug and secure from coming out.
That's perfect. That's sick. Yeah.
It'll be right there.
That's a sick mount.
That's so G.
He wanted a live scope, but we wanted it portable because this boat goes in and out of the truck. It gets left outside on a trailer sometimes. So we put a 1022 Garmin on here with a live scope. We did a live scope on the trolling motor. We brought the wires over here instead of running up the shaft with the way the trolling motor is designed. We left this out here because he wanted it portable. So with the click of a battery strap right here, guys, he can pull his live scope box out, unhook it, take it inside, everything's good to go. Graph wise, 1022 XSV also, he can unhook it from the back, take it out of the boat, slide it in the back of the truck. Nothing gets damaged. If it's a month or two before he goes fishing and his boat happens to be on the trailer, his electronics aren't out in the weather. First tiny boat we did, but we had a lot of fun and it turned out great. Ashley helped with the build out on this boat as well. Say hi, Ashley.
Hey, bud.
There was about 5 hands on this boat. First tiny boat we did here in the shop. I know you guys have done them before.
Tiny boat, big graph.
There you go. Tiny boat, big graph. Alright guys, so this is Ryan from Fire Ant. He has a YouTube channel. Fun fact, when I first built my first John boat, this was the very first guy I found of building John boats. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm here with him, but his channel link will be in the description. It's Fire Ant.
Right here. Thanks, guys.
That was awesome, man. It was fun working with you, bud.
Dude, it was awesome.
Adam, get my phone number from him.
I will, man.
That way, when we get boats, if I get running a problem or something, I can give y'all a shout and like,
yeah.
hey, how do y'all do this?
Right?
And vice versa. I mean,
Heck
if y'all
yeah,
run
man.
into something, you can shout.
So today we built the boat, but tomorrow we're gonna go take it to a pond and test it out and do some fishing. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.